In an iconic scene from Tim Robinson and Zach Kanan's absurdist sketch comedy series, I Think You Should Leave, a car shaped like a hot dog crashes into a clothing store. As the patrons compose themselves, they notice a man in a hot dog suit standing among them, and they accuse him of crashing the car. He vehemently denies driving the hot dog car, making a series of outlandish arguments about his innocence.
We're all trying to find the guy who did this and give him a spanking.
At first, the crowd is hostile to him, but over time, his stubborn insistence that he was not the driver starts to make them rethink for a moment, until he makes a run for it. The setting and characters in other I Think You Should Leave sketches are wildly different, from an old man tormenting someone else in a focus group to a novelty circus organist accidentally hired to play at a funeral.
Let us bow our heads. 2, 3, 4.
In fact, the first sketch of the series has a dead simple premise. A man leaving a job interview tries to pull open a push-only door and refuses to admit that the door does not swing both ways. I believe that the door sketch is a thesis statement of sorts for the show, and I believe it's a thesis statement that is painfully, cathartically timely for the pandemic-haunted world we're living in. Namely, that it is horrifying and hilarious being trapped with people who refuse to live in the same reality you do. Another classic sketch sees the victim of a whoopee cushion prank take it incredibly personally, going on to invent a ludicrous scenario in which this prank is the start of a conspiracy to land him in the hospital where his unnecessary surgery will prevent a car accident victim from receiving life-saving treatment in time. With each new level of his imagined conspiracy, his coworkers grow more and more disturbed. How can you argue with someone who is so far off the mark? In another of my favorite sketches, a Johnny Cash-type singer starts to ad-lib a song about his own murder to intrigued record executives, only for his bandmate to misunderstand the point of ad-libbing and sing his own tale about skeletons coming back to life and using bones as money. Each verse sees the mythology of the reanimated corpses grow more and more baffling, but if you were ad-libbing a song on the fly, how do you argue with someone else ad-libbing their own idea of a good song?
Exactly, the bones are the skeleton's money. In our world, bones equal dollars. That's why they're coming out tonight to get their bones from you. The skeletons will pull your hair up, but not out. All they want's another chance at life. They've never seen so much food as this. Undergrounders have as much food as this, and the worms are their money.
The show gets a lot of comedy mileage out of overreactions and misunderstandings. However, there's a reason that I call I Think You Should Leave horror comedy, and I think it's best illustrated by a sketch from the first episode of Season 1. The setup is that Steven Yeun has received a gift from Tim Robinson at a party, and Robinson is convinced that Yeun doesn't like it. To make Yeun prove that he does, Robinson asks for the gift receipt back in front of everyone. Upon receiving it, Robinson is still not satisfied and seems resentful that his theory was disproven. So, upping the ante, Robinson eats the receipt to destroy it once and for all. At first, Robinson seems both unreasonable and off-putting to everyone watching. However, as the sketch goes on, Robinson appears to become ill from eating the receipt. He blames Yeun for using an insufficient amount of toilet paper after, as he calls it, making a mud pie in the bathroom. He accuses Yeun of getting feces on his hands, which must have then transferred to the receipt that Robinson ate. Yeun says the receipt paper itself made Robinson sick, but now Yoon's friends are suddenly intrigued by the mystery, and one of them eats an untouched receipt to see if they get sick, and thereby testing the less relevant hypothesis. When they don't immediately become sick, Robinson declares vindication and the friends turn on Yeun, accusing him of lying about liking all their gifts and stating that his house must be covered top to bottom in shit. They vacate the party, leaving Yeun emotionally destroyed from his abandonment. The sketch is hilarious, but part of that hilarity is watching Yoon's world crumble around him as the ravings of an unreasonable person take hold of the crowd and completely alter the energy of the party. If you remove the comedic overreactions and humorous phrases like mud pies, The scene could easily be rewritten into a paranoia thriller where a silver-tongued interloper turns a man's friends against him one by one. Many of I Think You Should Leave sketches have a central antagonist that, in another writer's hands, might resemble Joel Edgerton's character from 2015's The Gift, or Robert De Niro's character from 1991's Cape Fear, or even the elderly couple from 1968's Rosemary's Baby. Some of the sketch characters have a kind of cultivated grudge guiding their actions, but others seem to select a victim at random, at times recalling the motive of the killers in 2008's film The Strangers.
Because you were home.
For me, I Think You Should Leave is so cathartic in 2021 because all around us, we're suffering the consequences of living with people who do not share our reality. In the United States, the population has been split between people who believe Joe Biden won an election fairly and people who believe China and Russia and Hillary Clinton and George Soros and Lautrec of Kareem hacked voting machines to prevent Donald Trump from winning and exposing a satanic conspiracy to harvest fear hormones from children in underground dungeons. There are people in this country who denied the existence of COVID, refused to wear masks, ate aquarium cleaner to own the libs, tried to kidnap a sitting governor over quarantine mandates, and now refuse to get a free FDA-approved vaccine, and there are people who didn't do any of those things. The pandemic has lasted longer and killed tens of thousands more people than it should have because a non-trivial number of Americans form their identity and their worldview based on the words of grifters who have been paid by America's wealthiest ghouls to keep them ignorant and pliable. Attend any city council meeting or any school board meeting and you too will be stuck in a room as someone screams about microchips and vaccines and medical masks causing CO2 poisoning and Donald Trump being God's chosen Christian soldier. These people are deeply ignorant but incredibly loud and taking over local government in thousands of cities. Everywhere you go, your job, your local supermarket, your local school, your local park, and especially your local church, thousands of Tim Robinson-esque characters are waiting to corner you, wear you down with talk radio fantasies, and yes, at the risk of using the most busted term of the decade, gaslight you until you're questioning your own sanity for wearing medical protection during a global pandemic that has killed over 700,000 Americans. I believe this is why so many scenes from I Think You Should Leave have become memes used to dunk on people online. Even if you've never seen the show, you've probably seen the hot dog guy posted in a reply to fossil fuel companies. Even if you've never heard of Tim Robinson, you've probably seen a gif of the old man at a focus group saying,
Oh my God! He admitted!
So many people we share this big, beautiful earth with are just as ridiculous as the guy who won't admit he's choking.
You're about to die. Tim, hey, stop. The water doesn't stink, it's regular water.
I Think You Should Leave is the horror comedy I need in 2021, because when I'm powerlessly surrounded by the angriest weirdos on earth in real life, the only relief I get is laughing at them on Netflix.